Hey everybody, this is I went through the Darlington Driver X5 again, and I figured I needed a way to turn it on and off, and I was thinking of switch and stuff like that. And then I was looking at switching jacks, and I was like, I gotta figure out how to do this, and I did. This is a true bypass output. So now, both boxes have a jack hole on either side, and then I think this one's going to get an LED, the other one's going to be passive, I think. I don't know, I'm still working on that circuit. I kind of got it, but I got to go through it again. Anyways, on the X5, the circuit is done. It's an 18 volt DC, 100 milliamp input, and I'm using all of it. It's a pretty beef circuit. Anyways, when you plug in the input jack, it turns on the amplifier, and just like a normal effect, it turns on the effect. But this, it turns on the amplifier, and when you plug into the true bypass, it shuts off the amplifier, and it's in true bypass mode. So if you're running 1 amp, you can just plug in right here, and the amplifier will shut off, and it will bypass through. Here's the DC input right here. Most pedal board supplies have an 18 volt 100. If it has an 18 volt at all, it'll have an 18 volt 100 milliamp. Sorry, 18 volt 100 milliamp. And like I said, it switches. You just plug in here and it turns it on. And then you can plug in your amps. Either 1 amp you plug in here and it goes into true bypass, 2 amps or 3 amps or 4 amps or 5 amps, whatever you want to plug in there. And I think, I started thinking about it more, and I think, a lot of people collect like little amps, and if they need to play a bigger place, they can just plug in all their amps. I mean, why play through just one of them at once, Anyhow, the schematic, I wasn't gonna put the schematics up for this, but I decided to show this the true bypass output here. This is the input over here, and it's the way I got this configured. Like the input signal comes in here, and it'll lift up on this, and this goes to ground. So it lifts it off ground, and the signal goes through here and through this contact, and then up into the amplifier like that. And then if you plug into the true bypass, first of all, this lifts off here, and that shuts off the amplifier because it disconnects the ground. But it shuts off the amplifier, and then it pushes this one off, disconnecting that, and then these two are directly connected all the time. It's just the way it switches. It's how it switches. And then I got a shot key in here for reverse polarity protection. This is a N-channel JFET. N-channel JFET works like most amplifiers. You plug it in and it turns it on. This just floats off. As soon as you push it in there, this node floats off, and it goes positive, and then it pulls down to ground, and then it'll shut off. And then this is the LED status light circuit, capacitor, the input section, and all these capacitors are going to be tantalum capacitors. I decided to go with tantalum. That means they won't ever dry out like electrolytics. They'll never dry out. So this should last. It's going to be pretty beefy. This is a NTE 155, the main power transistor, which is like a little power amp can, kind of a tiny one, but at the same time it's like a power amp can. But I need it for heat dissipation, not so much what it's running at. But I got it tweaked out so that I got as much clean headroom as possible. Anyhow, the signal comes in. This is the bias circuit, and that bias is the Darlington. But this is two discrete transistors. This is a lighter duty transistor, and this is a heavier duty transistor. And then this is a 2-watt resistor right here. Just to give you an idea, but it's a low ohmage 2-watt, and that makes it so that when you plug in different amplifiers, you know, the load can change and the operating parameters stay pretty much the same because this is such a low ohmic value. And then this coupling capacitor gets rid of the DC offset in the outputs. And this is my chassis or box ground. Otherwise the whole thing is floating. And you know, if you get floating supplies, I don't think I'm going to ship this with a power supply. I'm going to let people buy that separate. I guess I'll offer it, but I don't think it's necessary. You can, if somebody is going to have this setup, they're probably going to put it on their board and just, you know, run it however they do. Okay, thanks a lot, guys. Bye.